Hello, everyone. My name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman.
I can't let you do this.
What I do is not up to you.
Diana, also known as Wonder Woman, from the mysterious island called the Themyscira, meets a man named Steve Trevor, who's a soldier fighting in World War I. Diana agrees to help Trevor fight the war as long as she gets to kill the god of war, Ares. Diana, also known as Wonder Woman, is an Amazonian warrior from an all-female island called Themyscira. Diana meets a man named Steve Trevor, who crash lands on her island and explains details to her about World War I. Diana, who believes the man to be running the war is Ares, the god of war. Agreeing to help Trevor get vital information back to his superiors, Diana goes on a quest of self-discovery, what are the ramifications of war, what is love, and knowing that not all human beings are bad people. The only negative thing I could say about this movie is that the villain here is pretty weak. The movie explains what happened, why he's doing this and whatnot, but the overall execution of the movie revealing who the villain is poor. I know this is the typical thing with a lot of superhero movies, but this one in particular felt very weak to me. Besides all of that, the action was great. Nice, clean-cut, crisp shots showcasing the fighting style of the Amazonian warriors and Wonder Woman herself. Obviously, some of the fighting action shots using Gal Gadot were CGI, but you could pretty much let that go for the fact that Wonder Woman is a larger-than-life figure. And so, properly utilizing her full abilities, the director had no choice but to go down that route. And I'm not complaining or anything. It works fine. Gal Gadot really slips into this role. If you like what she did in Batman v Superman, well then I'd imagine you'd love what she does here. At the start of the movie, her character comes off as this little child who's lost and confused in the big world. She thinks she has most of the answers figured out. But really, she's learning a lot of new things in the big world that ultimately shapes and transforms her into the character that she ultimately becomes at the end of the movie. I'd also say that her portrayal of Wonder Woman was very charming. You can't help but like the charismatic charm that Gal Gadot brings to this character. Also, it appeared that she could handle most of the fighting scenes that were delivered to her. She looked believable, she took charge, and she kicked lots of butt in this movie. Gal Gadot delivered on all fronts. Her acting was on point, her fight scenes were good, and her character had a winning personality. Chris Pine plays Steve Trevor. His performance was good, but I don't think it was anything special. I thought Chris Pine and Gal Gadot had good chemistry together on screen, and I believed in the part he was playing. But to me, there just wasn't enough meat and potatoes for me to chew on with this character. I got the basic gist of Pine's character, like what he's doing and what his purpose is, but I don't think he serves any real narrative to the story, except we gotta go here, and this needs to get done. You could say that he does bring something about in Wonder Woman towards the end of the movie, but when I think about it, it was just to be expected, and the overall outcome of the character really didn't hit home for me like it was supposed to. Positive thoughts. Gal Gadot was great, Chris Pine was good, the action was great, the story was cohesive, and it flowed beautifully. And I like the beginning of what this ties into. I thought that was really well done. The visual effects were good, except towards the end when we got the big hero versus villain battle. I thought the villain's visual effects looked pretty bad. The villain was pretty weak here, which is to be expected since this is a story about Wonder Woman and not the bad person. The movie did give some explanation for the villain and it worked, but then the movie does something with the villain towards the end, which I thought was executed pretty poorly. This thing at the end wasn't deserved and it felt forced to me. It felt like the movie was saying, "Hey, it's time to go, let's wrap this up, please." I give Wonder Woman an A-. I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun, the action scenes were good, the fighting was good, the story was cohesive, the actors did a great job. I virtually have no complaints about this movie, except for the pretty poorly executed villain. So as always, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.